Part woodforde.
Yes, you can imagine how girlfriends feel. But the first one, it was unlucky really with that return. It hit the very top of the tape and fell back.
Agassi.
Well, it was, for Mark Woodforde, a game of might have beens. It still might be, but it's going to make it more difficult for him. 5-4. He had 2 match points. He had a match point against Sampras in Cincinnati a couple of months ago. Christmas time.
15 love.
He's got to just take every point one at a time and just really, I think, just keep the ball in, because Agassi really is making the errors. Woodforde not doing anything particularly special.
30 love. Classic hunting, 30-15.
He was a Shakespearean student at school. To be or not to be. Out. Got 2 more.
Field 6 hunting, 40-15. Dankeschön. Danke.
There you go. Agassi can concentrate on jingle bells. Mark Woodforde enjoyed the pleasure of a match that really was his from about, I would say 30 minutes into it, but towards the end became terrifyingly difficult to finish off.
I think you've only got to listen to the crowd's reaction right now, what they thought about that. But all credit to Mark Woodforde. He's gone out there, he's done the job. He made it very difficult for maybe a not too interested Andre Agassi. He mixed up his pace as well, mixed up his spin, just as Peter Fleming said that what he should be doing. But really, you look at this man, you think, well, did he really want to be there? And judging on his reaction from this shot from Woodforde on match point, or the shot coming up next when he didn't move at all and just stood and watched it and thought, oh, I'm on my plane home. Look at this. There. No try whatsoever from Agassi. I think that summed up the match for me.
Yes, very disappointing from Andre Agassi. Chris Bailey with some strong words this time. What do you reckon about what Chris Bailey said, Peter?
Well, it didn't appear as though Andre really was into it. I think, though, he was trying his best. I mean, he wasn't diving for balls, but it seemed to me that Andre Agassi has gone back to the player that he was, say, pre-1994, where everyone said he was so hot and cold. If he was having a good day, he was great, and if he wasn't, he was terrible. And he was out of shape back then, even though he reached 2 Grand Slam finals. He reached the finals of maybe 3 of the French twice in the U.S. Open, and you know, it just seems to me that he's lost that edge.
Wouldn't it be nice to have a real interview with him instead of this press conference stuff which is always produced? Wouldn't it be nice just to say, Andre, are you having a great time playing right now? And, you know, if you're not, why don't you, you know, relax for a while and come back when you're ready to play? I mean, is he playing through commitments to tournaments, or is he playing because he wants to play?
No, that's a very good question. It doesn't appear to me as though he really is enjoying himself out on the court. You know, everyone talks about Andre Agassi as a great person, a really man at peace with himself and everything, but you watch him play tennis there, and it doesn't seem as though he is, and you have to wonder whether he's going to be playing tennis that much longer. I don't know.
These are all questions that have been asked before of Andre Agassi.
And I just think he doesn't want to let people inside of his head, and fair enough. You know, it's not as though it's a public domain, but time will tell if he can get that. If he can get that intensity, the will just to grind out points, because that's what he was doing so well in '94. Remember in the finals of the U.S. Open when he beat Stieck, and he made something like 13 unforced errors over 3 sets, and just didn't miss a ball, and waited, rallied and rallied and rallied, and then on the 6th, 7th, 8th shot would go for the big one. In this match here, every single return of serve, he went for a winner. But
when he did make a return of a second serve and got into a rally, he did exactly what Brad Gilbert's always been calling for him to do, which is earn the point, stay in it, and then earn it. How many second serves did we see him, how many returns of the second serve did we see him make? I mean, this was crucial. He got break points when Woodforde was serving for the first set here. You know, grind, move your feet, work. And he wasn't doing that in this match, Peter.
Yeah, well, the thing that you can see, or you could see quite a bit, is that Agassi, well, here he did get his feet in position and hit a great shot, but the thing that I noticed during the match is that his footwork was very sloppy. But
isn't that a function of practice?
Well, I guess it is, yeah. It's practice or being in shape or being alert, just being mentally into the point. I mean, Tim Henman didn't play for 2 weeks, and yet he was very alert during the points yesterday. So I don't think it's necessarily all practice. It's you know, what are you focused on? Is he watching the ball properly? I mean, there were 2 serves towards the end of the match there, 4-3, I think, in the second set, from deuce, where Agassi didn't move off the spot. Woodforde hit 2 serves, and Agassi didn't flinch. It was just,
gone.
You know, that's not Andre Agassi. He's one of the great returners of all time, and wasn't moving for the ball. So his head obviously wasn't into the match enough.
And he's one of the great ralliers of all time, and when he does get involved in a rally, and again, you know, works for the point, he's pretty impressive stuff. But at 2-all in the second set, Woodforde got his opportunity, and this is the sort of point where, well, you'd think Agassi would be favoured in all these, but Woodforde won far more than his fair share today. Into a baseline rally, things seem to be going pretty well, but then, you know, comes to a little slice action here, and check this out. Ugh. That's horrible.
Yeah, that was not well played.
First break, second set, end of story.
And credit to Woodforde in that if Woodforde had played a straightforward sort of match and just hit topspin, and side to side, Agassi would have worked himself into a groove probably and ended up winning.
Against an Arno Birch or something.
Exactly right. But Woodforde was hitting slices and top spins and angles and drives, and it didn't allow Andre to get back into the match.
Well, perhaps to sum it all up, we can have a look at the last point we took. This was to get back to 30-all, final game. Talk about uncertainty, Peter.
Yeah, well, Agassi just didn't have the... He's hit a great shot. Let's stop it there, please. Okay. Agassi, I mean, you could drive a lorry up that alley. You know, I mean, it's so big, and yet what does Agassi decide to do? Let's run it on. I mean,
he goes back.
just hit
Look
the
at it,
ball.
he goes back.
Oh, nice try.
Yeah, that's pretty horrendous. I'll tell you who will be happy is Goran Ivanisevic, won't he? Playing Woodforde in the next match-up rather than an Andre Agassi, or would he rather play Andre Agassi in a mood that he's in at the moment?
I don't think it matters one bit to Goran. If he plays Agassi returning serve like that, Agassi has no prayer.
Yeah, well, let's take a look at that draw right now. Right down at the bottom there, you can see the name of Ivanisevic there.
Zu 4. Das Ganze mit höchster Eleganz. Im zweiten Satz erlebten die Tennisfans dann das typische Ivanisevic-Match. Für den Gegner gibt's nichts zu lachen und nichts zu holen. Nur reihenweise Asse darf er bestaunen. Am Ende waren es 18 an der Zahl. Alles, was dem Schweden jetzt noch blieb, Einsatz, Kampf und Gegenwehr, so gut es eben ging. Goran Ivanisevic schaffte 2 Breaks und hatte es dann ziemlich eilig. 6:4 und 6:2, der Titelverteidiger steht in der zweiten Runde des Compact Grand Slam Cups.
You know, Wilander and the rest of those young guys who came up. And with the advent of baseline players, Wilander, #1 in the world, then Lendl, then, well, even Sampras and Agassi, really. It's very difficult to serve and volley on a second serve against a great returner. And I think that players are coming up these days just scared to serve and volley on a second serve, and therefore they're not that good at it.
Is it just a function of the passing shots getting that much better with the help of the rackets as well? I mean, once somebody sees a gap, they can nail it.
I think so, passing shots and returns as well. I think the return of serve is something that has really improved over the last 30 years. In the 60s and early 70s, everyone just chipped returns. They got the ball in play more often, and so you could serve and volley safely. You knew that you're going to get a touch on the second ball, and then you had to hit a good volley. And I think that was largely due to the fact that all the tournaments were played on grass. So it's very difficult to swing away on your returns on a grass court, and it is a percentage play just to chip it back. But now they play so many events on clay and hard courts that someone with a good eye like Agassi can just whack the ball, and unless you serve like Ivanisevic, then you don't have a prayer to serve and volley against a guy like that all the time.
I guess with Stefan Edberg retiring at the weekend in that Davis Cup tie in Malmo and Jakob Lasik pulling out as well, we've got 2 less serve volleyers out there now, Peter.
Well, let's hope that in the future there are...
Vital when you see the inside of airports and hotels all the time, because it does get to you in the end, doesn't it?
Well, it can get to you, certainly. And the people who let it get to them or even want it to get to them, you know, it will. But, well, so far, you know, he really has it in balance. And
so where does he get to? Where does he get to? At the end of a career, where does he get to? Is he a possible Wimbledon champion? I mean, this is what we've been screaming for, and he is the product of a system fairly recently employed over here. He's taken full advantage and has all the skills to do it, but where can he end up?